788 pages of world history. And I'm gonna try to learn it all using NotebookLM in just 12 hours. Because embarrassingly, anything before 2000 is mostly one big blob to me. I may have learned some of this when I was in school, but did they stick? We'll find out for sure because I will take a baseline test, then at the end I will take another test to see how much I actually learned in 12 hours. My study plan starts with foundation. The goal here is to establish my baseline knowledge and prepare my tools so I can study efficiently. Opening NotebookLM. Uploading sources for this notebook. I'm using a textbook from OpenStax. I also wanted to use the transcripts of some crash course videos on YouTube, and at this point I'm just guessing which videos overlap with the textbook that I just downloaded. I wanted to try the Discover feature, and it would also help me diversify the sources. Why did it automatically generate these? I'm going to delete this because I think it started to generate even before I added all the sources that I want. Generating a custom quiz based on all the sources. Okay, generate. Finally taking the baseline test. Okay. What was the key feature? Is it this one? Author is male. Never heard of that word before. I don't know what Indus Valley civilization is, or I don't remember at least. I'm just gonna guess this. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Though I don't know any other context. I have zero idea. B. Okay, that was a complete guess. Don't know. Was it B or C? I remember learning about this guy, or at least I remember his name. Do I remember anything about him? Poor peasant? Okay, it's the only humble background here. That one, I guess. Okay, score 10 out of 30, accuracy 33%, confidence 10%. So let's see how much I can actually learn. The second phase is exploration. The purpose of this is to build a strong mental model of the major eras, themes, connections, before diving into details. Studying the mind map. I'm gonna generate mind map over here. I love looking at the big picture first, or an overview for some spoilers. Early civilization. I don't know, what is civilization? Writing down some basic or even silly questions. High work to food ratio versus ideally there's more food than work. Yeah, it's not scalable, right? That is the point here. Okay, I'm starting to find a story here. What's Mesoamerica? Division of labor, but that's pretty good, right? Hierarchy. Why? Accumulation of wealth and power. What is population growth? Is it because there's less work now? More time with their families? I feel like I already know. I see it as a story and like the lives of the people, so it's easier to kind of embed in my brain. So Mesopotamia, they have a writing system that's cuneiform, and Egypt, they have a different writing system, which is hieroglyphics. Seeing some analogies. Evidence of trade in Mesopotamia, so they probably talked with this and they were like, hey, let's get into this urban society, early civilization thing. After studying the rest of the mind map for a few more minutes, I wanted to now look at it from a timeline perspective. This is one of the mindsets mentioned in this PDF guide, where I compiled specific learning strategies for 5 key subjects. In my head, I am referencing this guide throughout the video as I'm studying for history. Link in the description box. It's also bigger picture, but making sure that it's all in a story. We got something here. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Can it generate a video? While that was generating, I went back to the historical timeline. Okay, deep past. I remember Lucy is the oldest we could find? Where is that now? Why is it called old one? I could memorize that. I feel like that is something that I've done when I was a student, is like memorize without trying to connect it to things. Why? Why did they move out of Africa? Huh. Wait a second. 100,000 years, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus existed at the same time. What makes the language complex? Maybe complex language is you can communicate more complex feelings. Then I paused on doing that to check out the video overview.
Let's do something a little ambitious. How did we go from there to here? We've broken this huge story into 5 main chapters.
All right, this is a timeline that I really wanted.
In the West, you've got the Roman Republic, and in the East, the Han Dynasty unified China. This story wasn't just happening in Europe and Asia.
It's definitely big picture. Right now I was more interested in a little bit more details, historical timeline. And now I'm gonna watch the 5 crash course YouTube videos that I added as a source on this notebook. Because even though there's all these cool AI tools, I still very much value a human teaching me. So if you're in school, that would be your professor or your teacher. Since I'm not, that would be a YouTube video posted 13 years ago.
You go with the Great Bath?
Meso means between. So that means Mesoamerica means between Americas. And the final step under the exploration phase is listening to the audio overview.
Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take huge swaths of history.
You're thinking about the snails.
Yeah. Frensty Cave in Greece. Tell us about that.
Okay, so archaeologists there found this huge pile of snail shells. Whole words or ideas. This was a massive cognitive leap.
Why was shifting to phonetics so important? Why not just stick with pictures? From a single forager needing 1,000 calories to get 1,000.
The next phase is deep dive, which is really intended to strengthen weak areas, fill in context, and really move from just recognition to real understanding. The next day, I thought it would be a good idea to look into what I got wrong on the baseline test. Is this quiz? Oh wait, it refreshes? It doesn't show you what you got wrong before? Oh well, that's okay. So then I tried to pivot by using this quiz as my main study material by leveraging the hint and explain features. Okay, yes. Historical fiction closely resembles ancient China, particularly during the Tang and Ming dynasties, okay. This is great because I'm finding it hard to grasp these new information. It's good now that I can somehow connect it to Apothecary Diaries, which is an anime that I'm watching. And I just did that for all 30 questions. And now interacting with the audio overview. How do you think this contributed to Neolithic revolution? Is it because they were expressing, oh, I want more efficiency, which is an abstract concept?
Neolithic.
It's the difference between a side project and your main job.
Okay. Food surplus led to social hierarchy. I don't understand why.
Better land produced more surplus as others.
This creates the very first.
This could range. Oh yeah, let's hear it.
But how did they acquire wealth if it was egalitarian before?
Initially, the first people to acquire wealth were the most successful farmers.
Yes, those who
Right,
had
there we
better
go.
land or better technology.
And is this kind of the same concept as victors write the history? Of course, the scribes writing these are elite.
Perfectly synthesized the concept of historical bias.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that interaction, and that they're forced to be really patient with me. All else equal, Eastern and Western Roman Empire, East would also always recover better because of its environment.
That is a brilliant way to frame it.
Where is paper making?
Paper was invented much later in China.
Can you compare and contrast Roman Empire and Chinese dynasties in terms of scale?
The biggest contrast is fragmentation versus continuity.
Confucianism. But at that time, we have some philosophers as well in Greece, and
Greek philosophy, while revered by the Roman elite, was more about ethics and the nature of the universe.
The Romans were
And then the last phase is mastery. My goal here is to consolidate knowledge through active recall and critical thinking. I think I enjoyed interacting with the audio overview way too much, so much so that I didn't realize the time. So now I am generating flashcards. We have the flashcards ready. Let's look at them. Okay, 162 cards, oh my gosh. Do I have time to look at them again? I quickly realized that as much as I have learned a ton from the mind map video overview, audio overview. I'm not sure if I know enough details to pass the quiz. No, that's a lot. Amaterasu. Why does that sound familiar? Amaterasu. Wait, isn't that in an anime? Amaterasu. Is that Sasuke? It is! Okay. I definitely would remember this more now that I have that. I reviewed the mind map and historical timeline, and then I did the flashcards a couple more times. Okay, it is time. I'm gonna generate a quiz again. Gonna say more. Generate. I don't know how long this will take. Start the quiz. Key symptom. Yep, surplus production of food. Next. There's more stability now that enables them to do other things. Invent their own form of writing or legal system, centralized government, even think about shared values like religion. It's either A or B. No. I'm losing so many points. Of which event? Death of Alexander the Great. Yes, that I know. Because he died at the age of 33, so didn't have any succession planning. There's a lot of questions around among his generals. Oracle bone was Chinese, so it has to be Kipu. I'm doing it. Carolingian was Charlemagne, Frankish Empire. They go fragmented instead of unified. He had 3 sons or something, and then there was again division between the 3 sons. The closest to that is A. I know this. Yeah, it's this one. Leverage that after the battle of... starts with an M. After that, Byzantine lost Anatolia, which is now Turkey. It was just catastrophic. Yeah, I don't think it could have been B, because I think Mongols pretty open with different religions. 14th century, what's happening here? The effect of the famine. C, post-colonialism is through a different lens, and then there's Marxism. Yeah, so, but it's... Oh my gosh, I totally misread the question. As contrasted. So we have Shang, Zhu, Qin, then we have Sui, then Tang, then Ming, and Song. I'm gonna say Grand Canal, because that is probably more of an innovation than road. Oh, I've never read this, so I have to do this by context clues. China, they're a major producer of silk, so I don't think C is correct. What's my score? Okay, 22 out of 30. 22 out of 30, 73% accuracy, and I would say 60% confidence. Fascinating discovery that I've learned. And it's about power. But long story short, it's because of the food surplus. But there were people who rode that wave early. Then they became chiefs, and then actually they became kings. Theodosius I, who was a Roman emperor, had a favorite son.
Okay.
Can you believe it? He put on his will that, hey, I think his name is Arcadian, you get the Eastern. Honorius, you get the Western. Knowing full well that Eastern was really stable.